novel The Red Badge of Courage by Stephen Crane, the theme of maturation is very well represented. In the beginning, Henry is a naive new soldier who only joined for the glory. Young men tend to believe that war is like the movies and are compelled to join because of the great honor it brings. After many hardships, Henry emerges from the difficult war a new person. He has matured and learned about the mindset of people and gained a lot of courage. Similar to The Red Badge of Courage, Farewell to Arms by Ernest Hemingway takes on the aspect of maturing in the army as well. At first, Frederick has a very lackadaisical attitude toward the war. He does not take it seriously. Instead, it is like it is in the movies to him. As the book progresses, he gains something to fight for in Catherine and his child. He shows maturity in his bravery and grace under pressure to save his own life. Frederick also shows maturity in doing what is best for Catherine and his unborn child by going to Switzerland. The theme of maturation also applies to transcendentalism because it is about learning through experience. Transcendentalism teaches that people should go out and experience nature and learn from the unpredictable nature of the world. As these ideas are experienced, people mature into deeper thinking individuals. As we progress through life, we should pick up valuable information that sitting in a classroom could never provide. The Catcher in the Rye also represents this theme because Holden experiences life as he goes along. As he ventures out into the world, he matures through his experiences. He realizes the true nature of the world throughout his travels. In the novel The Scarlet Letter by Nathaniel Hawthorne, religion plays a large role because it is at the root of all of the problems. The Puritan society in which they lived strongly disapproved of adultery and had harsh penalties for it. Religion is also very important in this novel because Reverend Dimmesdale's guilt of breaking one of the commandments drives him to self-punishment. Secret sin is also a major theme because Dimmesdale nearly kills himself to protect his secret. This theme is also prevalent in The Crucible because the girl's supposed adventures with the devil is the most serious sin and is the root cause of all of their problems. Also, religion is used as a cure for the witches and a way out of hanging because they had to swear their allegiance to God. This belief in sin and religion also leads the townspeople to believe every word the girls uttered. In The Minister's Black Veil, secret sin is the main theme in the story. Mr. Hooper's secret sin drives him to wear a veil over his face as a symbol of shame. Secret sin is present in everyone, even the people who preach religion. The only way of redeeming himself is to show his sin to the world. In Young Goodman Brown, sin and religion are very present because sin drives Mr. Brown to the forest and religion saves him. As the temptation brought him into the arms of the devil, his true faith saves him.
Like smoking Joe Frazier, the Hellraiser, raising hell with the flavor, terrorize the jam like troops in Pakistan, swinging through your town like your neighborhood Spider-Man. So tick tock and keep ticking. When I get to...
The theme of revenge is present in The Merchant of Venice because Shylock is dead set on exacting his. Antonio's bond has not been paid in time, and all Shylock can think about is how he will make him regret it. This novel also shows how revenge is not always the answer, and it can easily backfire, as it did to Shylock. Similar to The Merchant of Venice, The Cask of Amontillado is focused on the revenge of a character. Montresor is extremely motivated in exacting revenge for an insult from his friend, Fortunato. This short story shows the ruthlessness of revenge as Montresor traps Fortunato behind a wall to die. The theme of revenge is the fuel behind this story. Revenge is also shown in The Scarlet Letter because Chillingworth becomes obsessed with it. He becomes maniacal in his pursuit for revenge on Dimmesdale after he created Pearl with Hester. Revenge is an important theme because it causes the downfall of Dimmesdale's life and the delusion found in Chillingworth's life. In The Crucible, revenge is used as the main reason for Abigail pursuing Elizabeth, John's wife. She is convinced that the demise of Elizabeth would lead to John Proctor falling in love with her again. As her thirst for revenge spirals out of control, so does the situation in the town. Abigail's delusion in the crucible is a major theme in the story. In her mind, she believes that John still loves her and she needs to be with him. She does not realize that he is done with her, and she will never be with him. Abigail's life has become controlled by her delusional state and made her commit horrible sins for a non-existent goal. Delusion also is present in the judges as they become blind to common sense and they condemn anyone accused of witchcraft to death. In The Telltale Heart by Edgar Allan Poe, delusion also takes over the mind of the main character in the story. He becomes obsessed with the need to destroy the old man because of his blue eye. Clearly, he has gone crazy over a simple object, even though he pleads with the reader that he is not crazy. The narrator also shows his delusional mind when he hears the beating heart in the floor, even though this is not possible. In The Cask of Amontillado, the theme of delusion is present in the Montresor because of his unusual punishment. He becomes focused on the process of revenge but does not think about the validity of the punishment before it is too late. He also mocks the man he is trapping by screaming back at him while the man is screaming for help. Ethan Frome is very isolated in this novel because of his wife Zena. She preoccupies every facet of his life with her constant complaining and illness. He is not free to live his life as he desires because Zena is holding him back. Isolation is a very important theme because of its effects at the end of the novel. He attempts to kill himself because of his isolation from society. The environment Ethan is in also adds to the sense of isolation. The winter setting and his remote home separates him from everyone else. In The Minister's Black Veil, self-isolation is shown through the veil. Mr. Hooper separates himself from everyone else by sticking out. Unlike everybody else, he is admitting to having secret sin, and therefore isolating himself from the rest of the highly religious town. The veil also physically masks his face. They can no longer see his face, which adds to the sense of alienation. Similar to The Minister's Black Veil, Hester Prynne is isolated mentally and physically. She lives separate from the community, and the letter A on her chest isolates her from everybody else in the community. During her separation, she also has different thoughts than everybody else, which isolates her even more. Hester is branded with her crime for everyone to see, and she is made an example of. People intentionally avoid her because of her horrendous sin. In The Catcher in the Rye, Holden isolates himself on purpose. He has a very cynical view toward the world and how it operates. He tries to keep away from the normalities of the world to preserve his life as it is at that point. Holden does not want to grow up. He wants to preserve his individuality by isolating himself from everyone around him.